And we're live. And we're live.
Let's just go.
Morning to Coffee with Coaches. I'm back. So
last week was probably the best episode we've done so far. So Sean's back, the OG. So we'll see how he goes.
Well, yeah. So this week, couple of things we just briefly wanted to touch on. Oh, hey, Gray.
Welcome to the
family. A couple of things we just wanted to touch on. Last week's podcast with James and Darius has been really well received. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit.
No, it was good. I think it was just very insightful about, there's a lot of people that have been trying to lose weight for so long with not much results for their efforts, and it was just asking the question of why haven't you got results for your effort, or if you should be aiming for that goal. Like we said, the majority of people want to improve their body composition. They don't want to weigh less, but to improve body composition you need usually some level of mass. Do you know what I mean? To make yourself look better. And that's where the idea of toning comes in, where that body fat and that muscle meet to create sort of the body that you want. Everyone wants to tone, but they think toning is just less body fat. But you could just keep getting less body fat, but you're not going to look any better unless you actually do some levels of resistance that's going to allow you to build some mass. So it was just talking about that. It was talking about how to do it. So talking about programming and how you should actually think about programming and the things you need to think about within your gym, if you're at a gym right now, in terms of programming, in terms of strength, in terms of hypertrophy, and then onto nutrition as well. So yeah, greatly received so far, and I think it'll keep going because it's a big topic.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a couple big weeks coming up for the podcast as well. Bit of a female athlete focus over the next couple of weeks, which will be really cool. The episodes that we've done with our female guests in the past have been really popular. So we've got a Muay Thai fighter as well as
professional Muay Thai fighter. Then we've got like an elite CrossFit athlete, and then we have a American football
player
superstar. American football superstar. Has played over in America, residing in Australia, born in Australia. She's Australian, right, Darius? Yes. So I'm looking forward to speaking to them three. It's going to be epic, to be honest.
But yeah, so today just wanted to touch on quickly the myth around sweating out your sickness. So it gets to that sort of time of year now where the common cold is a bit more of occurrence, not COVID, just bit of a head cold, a little bit run down. Generally because this time of year with the change in weather, people tend to feel a little bit more.
It's crazy. Everyone's brain goes straight to I've never been so scared to sneeze in public in my life. I have hay fever. This is it's a bad time.
You nearly passed out in Woolworths trying to hold a cough.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where the old advice used to be when you're getting a bit sick would just be go for a run or just train anyway, just sweat it out, you'll feel better for it. But that is not the case. Sometimes, if some of your symptoms, a good one is the neck check, if all your symptoms are in your head, then some light conditioning or a light training session is fine. But where you run into trouble is when you try and push the pace and train like you normally do and ignore the signals that your body's trying to send you. When you're feeling crook, sometimes you just got to let your body be sick. You need to put yourself in a parasympathetic state to promote recovery. And not trying to fight it. Again, I've been guilty of this so many times where you feel that little bit of a sore throat come on. You're like, I'm going to train anyway.
Lose your gains.
And then, you wake up the next day feeling like shit and then you don't get to train for the next 10 days. And in the scheme of things, it's not going to set you back at all. I know that's probably a mental thing that I struggle with is, I'm not going to train. You get sick, it's shit, I'm going to miss out on my training, I'm going to lose all my progress. But you don't. Your lung capacity might be reduced for your first couple of sessions, but you bounce back pretty quick rather than just trying to fight it over and over again. So
it's like that hierarchy of needs, though, isn't it? Same with injuries. If you're sick, you want to lie in bed, or your body's just trying to bring you down, like you said, to that state, and trying to get as much energy as you can. And what you're just trying to expend energy. It's just fighting against what your body's actually trying to do at that point. The same with injuries, injury nutrition. People go, I want to drop this is going a bit off topic to what you spoke about, but I want to drop my calories now because I'm injured. It's well, actually, in theory, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, your body actually needs more energy now than ever to heal itself.
That's why, one of the main reasons your body's trying to slow you down so it can use whatever energy that is available to help you recover. Like, your body is working bloody hard to help you, like, overcome
Could work
your
bloody
sickness.
harder, I can tell you that. Yeah. Could work harder.
But yeah, next sort of thing I want to speak about is just the importance of having a coach. No matter what sort of goal you have, I believe there's always someone in a better position than you. And having a coach to sort of guide you through your journey is so incredibly important, just to help bring you back on track when times aren't going so great. So whether it's like nutrition coaching, personal training, like sports performance, or even business coaching, like having someone who has been there, done that, or has more knowledge than you, or who's a little bit further on the journey is so incredibly valuable. You see it so many times. Like, people always try and, like, they've gone it alone a few too many times, and when they finally come for help, they're more hard work because they think they've been doing all this good positive work, where in actual fact they've just been reinforcing bad habits over and over and over again. I don't know what your experience with that is like. I know you're a big frother for it.
Well, I just think coaches need coaches, and again, it's not at all points, because I think if your coach is good enough, then you can get autonomy, like with what you're doing. But first, like, I believe that you do have to put in some initial investment, and just for them to not say what to do, but just keep you back. Like, example, we've got a few women in the gym running a half marathon at the moment, haven't we? So they haven't asked us necessarily for any running advice. They've just been going out, listening to this app and telling them that to just run. So they're just running high volume, and magically a few of them are pulling up with, little niggles.
Yeah.
Because they're just going it alone from a path that they're unsure about. Do you know what I mean? If I want to start rowing for Oxford, not smart enough and not tall enough, but in my dreams, right? I'm going to go and get a coach, or I'm going to go and have a look at some things to get a little bit better. I'm not just going to go at it alone. Okay, I'm going to invest this initial bit of time and money into it. People invest money into fucking all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Invest money into everything, and we live in this world where I'll do the same. I'll go, right, I need new toothpaste, and I'll go, what toothpaste on sale? Or, do you know what I mean? Or like socks, like, God, that's expensive for that pair of undies. But I'll go and buy a case of beer for like $6, or go and buy a round of Jaeger bombs for like $100. Like, no
worries.
No questions asked. So it's just weird how your mind works, for this. But
yeah, so I guess to sum that up, like, if there's something worth investing in, it's 100% worthwhile investing in yourself. Like, investing in yourself is always going to take you to a new level of growth. Potentially to a place where you don't need a coach anymore, but it's worthwhile. Yeah,
and it's going to give you more time back. It's going to give you more time, which is what you want, which is the next point of Parkinson's Law.
Yeah, so Parkinson's Law for us it basically refers to the law around, like, the time given to a task is the amount of time a task will take to complete. Over the last sort of couple client calls, one of the common trends I've sort of come across, and it sort of repeats itself, it's sort of like a cycle. Everyone seems to be so busy. They're just the busiest person in the world. But everyone's busy. Everyone's got shit going on. You just need to put aside some time and stick to it. Make time for the things that are important to you. I know this is very common with parents. They always prioritize everything else before they prioritize their own time. And one of the things I always strongly advise doing is prioritizing your self-care time, or your time, before anything else. So when you're planning your week, you're planning in the time you're going to prep your meals, do your training, do your stretching, all the little things that are going to fill your cup. And then no matter what else happens during the week, you've always got those little positive things to come back to. And I know it's like a simple in theory, but I think as a little homework task, if you went and actually looked at your calendar, like how much time you've actually got put in there for yourself, it's generally not going to be that much.
Yeah, I'm terrible at that. I'm not even getting better at it. I'm just going backwards. But Parkinson's Law goes for heaps of things. Even when you're looking to create habits, like we spoke about, instead of reading 10 pages, read a page. Do you know what I mean? It's like the time that I've got it. I'll always speak to people. It's like, I've got no time. It's like, okay, well, you break down their day, see where they've got time. It's like, I need to exercise. And it's like, right, well, we have 20 minutes here, for example. I only have 20 minutes. I can't do anything in 20 minutes. Well, you can run for 10 minutes and run back for 10 minutes. So therefore you ran for 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? You've done something with the allocated time available. If I have an hour to do a gym session, the gym session is going to take me an hour to do. If I have 20 minutes to do a gym session, that gym session is going to take me 20 minutes to do. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, the time you give to a task is the time it takes to complete the task.
Yeah, especially when, like, you know, if you look at your screen time on your phone, I think the average hours spent on our phones at the moment are like between 6 and 8 hours.
Right.
So if you need to find 10 minutes to exercise, I'm sure you can sacrifice a little bit of Tinder time to go for a walk.
I'm not on Tinder, obviously, for good reason.
Good way to cover your tracks, yep.
But
Grinder.
what I was going to say, before you mentioned Tinder, I was like, my screen time sometimes is disgraceful. I'll look at mine and I'll be like, holy shit balls, that is madness. And some of it, I can say that it's for work, I'm working, do you know what I mean? But a lot of time you just scroll. And if I'm like hungover, like my day is spent like on my phone, do you know what I mean? Because you're just trying to humans have to find things to be entertained by constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly. So there's a break, we're just on our phone and we're just scrolling just so we can get this little hit.
But being bored is a good thing. We need to bring back a little bit of boredom. Like, our mind needs the break.
If you don't want to be bored, just grab a child. But don't grab any child. Have a child. Because
sorry.
Don't just grab. Darius, put it back.
Sorry.
Grab any child, because I haven't been bored in years. I wish I was bored. Okay, take this boredom. Okay, and run with this boredom. All good. Anything else?
See you next week.
Peace. Yeah, this week's which podcast coming out? I don't know. We'll decide. But whatever it is, it's going to be good.